Hey fangirls and boys, this is Natalie and you're watching Whole Lotta Love, and today's video is a first impression on the Morphe and Saweetie collection. I picked up the entire collection. I have the eyeshadow palette, which is super duper gorgeous. I also have the lip glosses, the brushes, and the setting mist, all of which I try in the video. This is a really fun collection. It's definitely like a really festival ready collection. I guess they were anticipating that it would be out in time for Coachella, but now, you know, with the way everything is going, Coachella has been postponed till October. But I think a lot of us are really just in-home makeup junkies who like to have fun at home, so I think this collection is perfect for that. I have been to Governor's Ball, which is kind of like Coachella, but in New York City a couple of times, like years ago. But I've never been to Coachella, and it's fun, but it's very tiring and stressful in a lot of ways. So I prefer Couchella, just streaming Coachella live on my television when it happens. I am a little disappointed that it's not happening, but obviously it really can't happen right now, so that's fine. But at least we get to play with the makeup, and if you are interested in seeing how I got this look using the Morphe and Saweetie collection, if you are interested in seeing that, then keep on watching. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I have here the Morphe 24A Artist Pass eyeshadow palette, or artistry palette, if you will. This, I believe, is in collaboration with Saweetie or Saweetie. It's just a little interesting to me because the palette, the rest of the collection has her name on it, but the palette does not. I can't see the name anywhere. I'm just wondering, and it's the same color scheme, but I'm just wondering if they're just planning on trying to sell this like after the collaboration is done, and maybe that's why they didn't put her name on it, or if it was just like some weird oversight, or if maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. It's just a little weird to me. This is what the palette looks like. It's absolutely gorgeous, although it is very heavy on the pressed glitters. It does come with a mirror, which is not always the case for Morphe eyeshadow palettes, and all the names are listed on the palette, so it's definitely an improvement from a lot of their previous palettes in terms of packaging. I also have the Morphe and Saweetie, I really don't know how to pronounce that, so whatever, Saweetie. Anyway, so this is a little fanny pack, which is super cute, and hopefully after we are done with our isolation, it will be summer and I can use this on the beach. I am so excited about it. It's super duper cute. Just such an easy way to like travel with things. It's kind of like a whole festival collection type of vibe. So if you're going to like a concert outdoors, or you're just kind of going to the beach, you don't want to carry a lot. It's a pretty cool little neon yellow fanny pack, and it comes with the, that's what holds the brushes in the collection. So I'm going to use these brushes for my look as well. So these are the brushes that we're getting here. So there is a fluffier blending brush, it's almost like a highlight brush or a very large eyeshadow blending brush, a shader brush, pencil brush, a very small kind of shader brush, and a paddly type of thing, which I'll show you a little bit closer in a bit. This is for pressed glitter, so that's pretty interesting. So I'm going to start with this fluffy blending brush. It doesn't have a number on it. I'm going to go into this shade over here, Portrait Mode, which is kind of like a light camel color. And I'm just going to put this above the crease on both of my eyelids just to create a shadow, like a very soft transition, kind of just like a natural shadow. So this shade is fine. It's just a light kind of transition shade that I'm using to create a natural shadow. This brush, it's not tapered. I usually like a tapered blending brush, but it's a little more dense, I would say, than the brushes I usually use. But I think I'm going to kind of use this brush for most of the look. We'll see. I'm going to go into the shade Max Volume, and I'm going to start working on my left eye because this is going to be a two-tone look. I'm just going to put this in my actual crease. That shade is really pretty. It seems really pigmented and true to color. It's like a hot pink, but it's like slightly more on the reddish side. I'm putting it on my lid also, this color. This is gonna be a pretty simple eye look, actually. Yeah, this is more of like a reddish hot pink than like a purpley one. I'm still just layering and blending the color. I think I'm also gonna pack some of this same shade on my lid. But first I'm just like really layering this in my crease and blending it across the eyelid. I'm gonna take the flat shader brush, the larger one, and I'm gonna go back into that hot pink shade Max Volume and just really pack this on the lid. So this is the pink shade packed all over my lid and it's in my crease. I'm gonna take my Morphe, this isn't in the collection, but this is the Morphe M506, it's just a very small tapered blending brush. I'm gonna go into this shade Major Inspo, which is just like a deeper kind of like eggplanty purple shade. I'm just gonna put a little tiny bit of this just to deepen up, just to create that shadow. I'm just trying to create like little bits of shadow. With these other colors, I really want it to just be like the pink all over the lid pretty much. I'm not trying to like introduce different colors on the lid. I'm just trying to kind of get the depth right. So you see I'm just taking like, placing like the smallest amount and just blending the shit out of it. Just to like really just so that it looks like a shadow. I don't want it to look like purple on my eyelid at all. I'm just layering a little more of the hot pink shade over that just to keep it like super pink. So that's what I have going so far. I think that looks pretty good. I really just see mostly pink on my eye with a little bit of depth in the outer corner. I'm gonna use this brush here, which is really like a silicone paddle. These types are used for pressed glitters. I'm gonna try this without a glitter glue and see how it goes. I'm gonna go into the shade Glitterly, which you guessed it is the hot pink glitter right underneath the hot pink matte in the palette. It doesn't really pick up on the brush so much. Like I was hoping it would just kind of pick up as if the brush, like as if it were a brush to the glitter. But I'm just gonna pack this on and see if we can get it there. Pretty much all over the lid. It's packing it on pretty well, but it's lifting a little bit of the eyeshadow underneath, which is like kind of annoying. But it's easy to get the eyeshadow back. So this is the shade Glitterly packed all over my eyelid, and I think that that looks pretty good. The brush kind of, the silicone paddle, they kind of claimed that it wouldn't, the glitter would go just where you wanted it and nowhere else, and I feel like that did happen. I feel like it's not as messy as maybe me trying to do it with my finger, but again, pressed glitters are pretty easy to work with regardless. But it was pretty easy to pack that on. I'm just packing a little more with my finger. I don't know if the brush is super necessary. It might be good for like working with loose glitters. I'd be curious to try that. I think it's also good if you have longer nails and you just don't want to be, you know, applying products onto your eye with your fingertips. So I'm really like loving how that's looking. I have a little bit of fallout, but for a shade that's like a hot pink, it's really not bad. It's like the matte, not really the glitter so much, which I'm happy about. I'm gonna get started on the second eye. I'm gonna use the same blending brush from this collection, and I'm gonna go into the shade Green Room, which is just this green, neon green matte. I'm gonna put this in my crease and just start blending it around the eye. The shade is a little less pigmented than the pink shade right off the bat, but I think I will be able to build it up pretty well. I'm going to take that same shader brush from the collection, and I wipe these brushes down, by the way, and I'm going to go into Green Room and just really pack that onto the lid. That same green matte shade. So this is the green mostly packed all over my lid and blended out all over my crease. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to go into the shade Security right over here. It's kind of like a medium to deep chocolatey brown kind of shade. And I'm going to take my Morphe M506. I'm going to do the same thing that I did on this side, just really tapping that very lightly in the outer corner just to create some depth. It's, again, more of a shadow than like, I don't want to see the brown so much on the lid or the color really show up. I just want that shadow effect. I think the contrast of shades is a little bit stronger. Maybe this shade's also a little bit deeper than the purple, but it's harder to conceal that. So I'm just gonna go back into the shade Green Room with the shader brush, and I'm just gonna layer that over top of where I put the brown shade, just so that it's still there, the brown, but it's not really in the look. It's just creating a shadow. So that is the brown shade in the outer corner. I don't think it looks too visible in the look, which I'm happy about. I am going to go into the green glitter in the palette, which is called Palm Tree. It's right underneath the Green Room matte green eyeshadow. I'm just using that same silicone paddle brush just to grab that. The glitter is super pretty. It's like coppery glitters in it. Like it's a green glitter, like a more of a cool tone green glitter, like almost like turquoise with copper glitter in it. So it's a really pretty shade. And the pink glitter has like those kind of like translucent bluish purpley glitters in it. So pretty, both of these. I'm gonna create wings on both eyes using the House Laboratories eyeliner in the black shade Punk. I'm gonna take the shade All Access Pass, which is just a cream colored satin shade with like, it's like a cream color with like a little bit of a gold shift. I'm just gonna pat this on my inner corners on both eyes. I'm gonna use the Fenty Beauty Full Frontal Mascara, and I'm just gonna put this on the upper lashes. I'm gonna line my waterline using the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Exit. This is just a white. I'm gonna apply lashes off camera. I'm using the Kiss Lash Couture Naked Drama Collection lashes in the style Lacey. I'm also gonna do my concealer and foundation and blush off camera. I'm gonna do all of that, and I will be right back to kind of finish on the eyes and finish the rest of the look. Okay, so I am back. I will list all the products that I used in this video in my description box below. I am gonna work on the lower lash line now, and I'm gonna use on my left eye, I'm gonna use the shade India Woe, which is just like a corally, it's like a corally peachy pink shade. And I'm just using the pencil brush in the collection just to apply this on my lower lash line. That looks pretty. I'm going to use my Morphe M506 just to blend that out in the lower lash. On my right eye, I'm just going to take the shade Rider Sky, which is just like this cerulean blue shade. I'm going to use the same pencil brush I just wiped off, and I'm going to apply this on this lower lash. That looks pretty good. I'm going to take the Morphe M506 and just blend that out. I'm going to finish the eyes with some Fenty mascara on the lower lash. Okay, so the eyes are done. I really like how they came out. I really like these lashes. I really like how the tones on the upper eyelids play with the tones on the lower eyelids and the two-tone, the way the two-tone works. I think that it all is cohesive, even though I did a two-tone eye look. So yeah, I'm overall pretty happy with that. I love these tones of glitter. So now I'm gonna play with a little more glitter in this palette on my face. So one of the really interesting things about this palette is that there's this textured pressed glitter in it, and it's called Spotlight Stealer. I don't know if you could see that right there, but it's like, it has like chunky star glitters in it. So I'm just gonna take this with my finger, try to grab some of those stars. You can see that right there. And I'm just gonna pat this above my eyebrow. The thing with the bigger pieces of glitter is that you kind of have to place them. They don't always want to stay on. They'll either like clump together or just fall off. So you kind of have to be a little more strategic. So that is the Spotlight Stealer Star Glitter above my eyebrows. I think that that looks really cool. So I added a few more little star glittery pieces. They are very easy to place, and I think that that looks fairly symmetrical. So I think that is super duper pretty. It's almost like my floral, my glitter crown, I guess. Except it's below my head. Okay. I'm going to take this brush, which is like a highlight brush, or if you have bigger eyes, it could be used as a really big fluffy eyeshadow brush, but I think that this is a really nice highlight brush. I'm going to go into this shade from the palette Private Oasis, which is just like a really pretty glittery duochrome blue kind of situation. And I'm just going to use this as highlight. That is really intense. It's like, see that? Super pretty. It's definitely not a subtle situation. So there's that shade used as highlight. I think that that's really pretty. It's like such a nice glittery, creamy kind of eyeshadow shade, but it looks really cool on the face also. I'm gonna move on to lips. I have the LA Girl. This is the Neon Shockwave eyeliner in the shade Fiery, and I'm just gonna line my lips with this. So that is the lip liner on. I'm going to take this lip gloss trio from the Morphe and Shoddy collection. This is the Icy Lips lip gloss trio. It's cute. It says, "Have a kiss on me," signed by Shoddy in the back. And I'm going to take this shade in the middle. This one is called Money Mommy. It's like more of a frosty coral shade. And I'm just going to put this on my lips. To complete the look, I'm going to use the Morphe and Shoddy. This is the continuing setting mist, and this is a mini one, and it's in there in a new scent, Saweetie Peach. It smells pretty nice. It's similar to the Jeffree Star one, that the mist isn't quite as fine as with the original, but it did its job. My face looks nice and dewy. Anyway, this is the completed look. I absolutely love how it came out. It's just super fun, super glittery, super festival at home sort of look. I think all the products perform really nice. It was a little harder to work with the green matte eyeshadow than the pink, but I think I got it there, and it wasn't anything overly cumbersome, and I really absolutely love how everything came out, and I love the little star glitters above my brows, and this shade on my cheeks is highlighted, super fun. So loving the look, very happy with all the products. Anyway, that completes this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and have a good one. Bye guys.